Thank you for letting me speak. My name is April Reyns. I grew up in Covington and went through the whole system, graduated in 1984, went on to college and was lucky enough to come back and become a teacher here at Covington City School System. This is my 31st year teaching. I'm a planner. That's what teachers do. I don't go in my classroom without my SOLs, my standards, my framework. That isn't, it's so important for us to be sure that our students get everything they need. When I was lucky enough to be expecting and I was going to be out for maternity leave, I would have a long-term sub, and normally you plan for a couple weeks and your long-term sub takes over from there. But that wasn't good enough for me because I wanted to make sure my kids were where they're supposed to be. So I planned for the whole time. I ran all the papers off. I had everything labeled with books so that I knew that, other than being in the classroom myself, that they were going to get what they needed. And this process of the consolidation that's coming up, it really bothers me that we are going into something not knowing what the plan is going to be. I think we're opening up our children to what ifs, unknowns, and you can't guarantee because no one can set it in stone that this is what's going to happen. We're going to be depending on someone else. I live in the city of Covington. I pay taxes in Covington. We have land in Allegheny. We pay taxes there. I think we have wonderful teachers in the city, and I'm not saying that there's not wonderful teachers in the county, because there are. My sister was one of them. I think they've lost a lot of good teachers with some of the practices that are going on there now. And a lot of teachers have retired. There's a big turnover. I couldn't give you the actual numbers, but in the last few years, there's been a lot of turnover. I think that Covington City Schools System they're wonderful stewards with our money. And I know that down the road there are going to be hard times, but I trust our city and our school board to come up with ways to meet the needs of our students. As a taxpayer in the county, I have not been pleased with how they have chosen to spend their money. They have not been good stewards. The Allegheny High School has been flooded multiple times, and that hasn't been a recent transaction. Everyone knows that. And decisions were made to build gyms at the elementary schools and do updates in the elementary schools, 2 of which have closed, instead of making preparations for fixing the high school. Now they did renovations, but it's still in the floodplain. They still, on rainy days, have to move everything from the first floor up, and usually they have students do it. Neither building is big enough to hold all the students if you combine them. So you'd still be in a situation where you need another building, and that's not going to save money. Our school board, our central office is streamlined. Everyone does more than one job, and they put the students and the faculty first, I feel. I don't feel that's the case in the county. Their central office is as big as it was years ago when it was a huge system. And, if you're not willing to make cuts to pay your teachers and give them the things they need so that you're getting the best, if you're not willing to look long-term of what your buildings need and make appropriate choices, then why are we willing to turn that over and to the hands of people who have not put the interest of their students first. And I commend all of you for the job that you've done, but I beg of you to please, please think of our students, think of our staff, what we have. Today, Veterans Day, our students at Edgemont Primary School, I wish you could have all been there. What they did today was extraordinary. It was beautiful, and those students, they understood that the men and women who came to our school gave a great service to our country. They know what veterans have done because we've talked about it. We've planned for this program, and they did an absolutely beautiful job. I just think that we would lose out if we don't take that into consideration and keep what we have. It's special. It's so special. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you.